Has Holly come back from Florida yet? Call her.
Hey, international
Hey.
movie superstar MobyLey.
It's been a while, but I was checking on you real quick because I know you were on the vacation. You opened up that weird book and all that. You make it home safe?
Yeah. It took a while to get home, the drive and everything, but we just got in like maybe an hour ago.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Actually, just kind of upload.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you uploading a bunch of stuff. What kind of footage did you get?
Vacation stuff, creepy stuff.
Creepy stuff.
Yeah, I know. Well, weird book thing, but yeah, I was actually just going through the footage when you called. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen with you.
Okay.
That's weird.
What's that?
You see that?
Watch me. Are you gonna click it? Let's watch out. Let's see.
Frolic and Brine. That.
I gotta go. I gotta.
Hello?
Holly, what's going on? I want to talk to you about something. So, ever since we watched that video, something weird's been happening. Every time I take a selfie, it's been like this weird warping sensation on my face in the pictures. I'll even show you what I mean. Yeah, is that happening to you or what's going on?
I don't want to talk about that video. I gotta go. Hi, friends.
It's Holly. Welcome back to the channel. In case you don't know, I'm your resident final girl and scream queen. Today we're going to be talking about Sadako, Yamamura, and Samara Morgan.
These two icons have been compared a million times, but I want to do it a little differently. We're going to have a good old-fashioned versus matchup using specific details from the American Ring films and the Nakata timeline. So, sorry, there'll be no Sadako 3D mentioned today. We'll be focusing on Ring, Ring 2, Sadako, with a soft mention of Ring 0 birthday. And on the other side, the Ring 2, and Rings. Also, spoiler alert, I will probably butcher some names. Appearance. Sadako is this mysterious figure. Never fully seeing her face makes her way more terrifying. All you really get is that infamous hairless eye peeking through the hair, and somehow that's scarier than seeing everything outright. On the other hand, we have Samara. Throughout the movie, you see her while she's alive, and you also fully see her face as a vengeful spirit. I understand the choice to show her face because the movie wants you to sympathize with her as a child, but unfortunately, by the end, it just feels like overexposure to me. So for that, this one goes to Sadako. Round 2. Backstory. Sadako is the daughter of a psychic who was publicly humiliated after skeptics claimed her powers were fake. Oh, and her father is a sea demon. Her mother eventually takes her own life after the public ridicule, and that trauma goes on to shape Sadako's entire existence. Sadako is a shy woman trying to live a normal life while struggling with psychic abilities and a troubled past. Sadako was split into two halves, one representing her humanity and the other representing her rage and psychic darkness. So basically, one good and one evil. Also, the evil one is given drugs to be kept the size of a child. Anyway, Sadako joins a theater troupe hoping to pursue acting, but the people around her eventually turn on her out of fear. Both the good and evil Sadako are ultimately fused back together. A killing spree ensues. She is drugged and attacked by the man she believes is her father. He throws her in the well and seals it. We later learn that Sadako survived in that well for nearly 30 years before finally dying, kept alive through her rage and psychic energy. Before her death, Sadako imprinted her trauma and rage onto a videotape. Anyone who watches it dies within 7 days unless they copy the tape and pass it on, allowing her curse to spread. Samara's backstory, however, differs. Samara was born to Evelyn after a priest named Galen Burke kidnapped and impregnated her. Evelyn claimed that Samara was born from a demonic conception, essentially confirming that she was always evil. Evil! Evil! To the point where Evelyn even attempted to drown her as an infant. We are already starting out like the Brady Bunch here. Also, Galen Burke blinded himself so he wouldn't have to deal with Samara and her pestering visions. Anyway, Samara is adopted by the Morgans who are unable to conceive, but even from infancy, she is able to project images into her adopted mother's head. The horses on the ranch also experience it. They go mad and unalive themselves. Worn down by her horse ranch succumbing to the horrific visage that she is also experiencing, Anna Morgan takes Samara to the cabin, suffocates her with a plastic bag, and throws her into the well. Unable to climb out, Samara survives for 7 days before finally dying. Her vengeful spirit then imprints the horrifying images of her life and trauma onto a blank videotape. Anyone who watches it is doomed to die within 7 days. Mirroring the exact amount of time Samara herself suffered inside the well. Samara is depicted as a troubled child, clearly a victim of circumstances, until we realize that she's not. She simply is evil. Evil! Evil! Perhaps due to the nature of her conception? It's also implied that Samara's spirit is actively manipulating the living in order to eventually be physically reborn. And while I can appreciate a red herring, I also find this slightly lazy. I personally prefer villains with more layered motivations and tragedy behind them. I do, however, like the inclusion of them adding that the curse kills you in 7 days because that's how long she survived. But Sadako lived 30 years off of hate, and that's kind of badass. So for that, Sadako wins this one. The curse and tape. Both curse tapes are fantastic for completely different reasons. Ring's tape is quietly eerie and never fully gives you answers. Do you know how long it took me to realize that Ryuji was actually inside the tape? Like, how the hell did you get in there, bro? The Rings tape feels chaotic at first, but by the end of the movie, everything makes symbolic sense in relation to Samara's life and death. Winner? It's a tie. I can't pick one over the other.
Atmosphere.
Ring has this stifling atmosphere that really stays with you. It's quiet and deeply unsettling. The silence and simplicity genuinely benefit the movie. There's also something to be said about eerie quietness. It's effective because there's nothing there. That emptiness adds to the fear of the unknown while making it feel more realistic. But that being said, anyone who knows me knows I love the style of early 2000s horror movies. The blue tint, the strange editing choices, it just has my heart. Anyone who grew up watching horror in the early 2000s knows exactly the style I'm talking about. But The Ring did it in a much more successful way. It's blue and green without becoming so oversaturated that the characters lose facial features. I am looking at you, Pulse 2006. So this point goes to Samara, the TV scene. Samara's TV scene is iconic, but for me, Sadako's is more unsettling. It's simpler, less flashy. I find it creepy.
The sound of her nail-less fingers dragging across the floor unnerves me every time I hear it.
And Ryoji's death is felt all the way into the sequel. Samara, meanwhile, gets all the fancy early 2000s CGI treatment. And to be fair, some of it really works well. I actually love that she's edited to visually match the curse tape itself and our oh-so-blue atmosphere. But I still prefer the simplicity of how Ring did it. Not to mention, Noah doesn't even realize what's coming to him, and then the Ring 2 doesn't seem to care that he existed anyway, so winner is Sadako. Ring 2, well seen versus the Ring 2 well seen. Both movies revisit the iconic well, but this time our protagonists are actually inside it instead of just observing it from outside. Ring 2 keeps things pretty restrained and really leans into Sadako's sympathetic backstory. The sequence is also surprisingly emotional, especially with Ryuji's spirit trying to protect his son Yoichi. And when Sadako catches up to Mai and Yoichi, she asks one thing: why are you the only one that gets saved? It's honestly so heartbreaking, especially if you've seen Ring Zero.
When I tell you that I flat out said, okay girl, you could kill whoever you want after all of this.
Toyama-san. Toyama-san. Toyama-san.
But it also breaks the tension of the scene. Meanwhile, the Ring 2 turns Samara into absolute nightmare fuel. Watching her crawl after Rachel and hook her leg over her shoulder is unnatural, new, and unexpected. But keep this in mind later. The scene is pretty tense and fast-paced, and you know what? Sometimes I just want mind-numbing terror, and this scene delivered on that. At least up until... Samara takes the point for this one. Bringing the curse into the digital age. Sadako modernizes the curse through live stream culture and internet fame. A struggling young YouTuber.
A YouTuber, you say?
Live streams from a cursed apartment and accidentally captures Sadako. Viewers watching the live stream will trigger the curse. So basically, Sadako goes viral. Rings fully digitizes the curse. The video is sent via email attachments, cloud files, etc. Samara can now emerge from phones, laptops, tablets, and TVs. It's a bigger idea.
I don't know, guys. I think I would actually be safe from this curse because I don't check my emails anyway. Or my messages half the time.
Sadako's feels a little more realistic, especially in this altered timeline of ours where everyone is an influencer or a YouTuber. The TV scene, modern versions. Alright, our girl is back to climbing out of TVs again. Granted, TVs look a little different now. The first time I watched the scene, I honestly didn't like it. But after revisiting it, I think it's actually a really awesome modernization of the original TV scene. The way Sadako crawls across the sleek floor while gaining speed gave me this oh shit feeling. In the original, you could at least argue she moves slowly enough for you to escape. Now, that's not happening. Rings, on the other hand, this is honestly one of my least favorite TV scenes in the entire franchise. Remember when I told you to remember the leg over the shoulder thing from The Ring 2? Yeah, they brought it back here again. Granted, it's toned down, but it's just unnecessary. I do think seeing Samara crawling out of a face-down TV is kind of cool, and the water seeping out before she emerges is a nice touch, but why did Samara turn into a creature feature monster? I also hate that it's so obviously an adult playing her now because it completely breaks the illusion that this is a little girl. Also, her face looks like shit here. Verdict: Sadako wins again for modernizing the original concept while still keeping the horror focused and atmospheric. They honor the original while making it fresh. Rings just kind of lost the plot. Cultural impact. I'm just gonna say it right out. Sadako takes this one also. And not just because she's the original. Without Ring, we probably would have never gotten that massive J-horror explosion of the early 2000s, which also means we would never have gotten Samara. And with that logic, we would not have gotten the Asian horror remake craze over in America. And although Ring itself wasn't even the first live-action adaptation of Sadako, that honor goes to Ring Kazan from 1995, which was adapted from the original novel by Koji Suzuki. Right now, based on my research, there's 6 books, 14-ish movies, 2 shows, crossover fight with Kayako, Chinese crossover fights with Bixian, mangas, video games, and now she's in Dead by Daylight. There really is no contest here. Final verdict? Sadako is the winner. Going into this project, I really thought that Samara was going to take the win, but the more I rewatched and researched, I realized that Sadako is an icon for a reason. That's not to say all of her movies are hits. They're not. But her track record is better than Samara. I will say this though, I will gladly watch The Ring 2002 over Ring 1988.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that Samara should have taken home the gold, or do you agree with my evaluation? Let me know what you think in the comments. And who else do you think I should do a versus match with? I'm Holly. Thanks for watching.